Hello and welcome to the France 24 interview. With us today for an exclusive interview from a secret location in northern Myanmar, the acting president of the NUG, the National Unity Government of Myanmar. Dua Lashila is with us from this location, so welcome to the show and thank you very much for being there for this exclusive interview. So my first question, as we are about 15 months from the military coup, which deposed the whole government of Myanmar, where the war and repression are raging all over the country. Around 2,000 people have been killed in the streets. We count more than 12,000 political prisoners in the jails of the country. My first question now is the NUG government is a legitimate government or it's a resistant government?
The National Unity Government is the legitimate government of the Union of the Republic of Myanmar. We are operating during a revolutionary period against a criminal terrorist enterprise that is seeking to occupy the country in violation of Myanmar law and through atrocity that blatantly violate international law. The NUG is constituted by the representatives of the elected members of parliament, ethnic representatives, minorities, and civil society leaders. It has been approved by the committee representing Pidongsu, Lutto, Parliament, the National Unity Consultative Council, NUCC, and the People's Assembly, all of which represent the people. The Federal Democracy Charter provides for the NUG as part of our interim constitutional arrangements.
But how would you, sir, describe how you govern? Because you are, for instance, now in a resistance area, in the jungle of the northern Myanmar. Are you actually the administration of the country? How does it work?
Yes, on May 5, 2021, we started forming the People Defense Force called PDF with a strict policy to obey international law and the military code of conduct under the Ministry of Defense to protect the civilians from atrocities and brutal attacks of the criminal military. Within a year, we achieved significant success on the military and administrative fronts. Despite numerous challenges, our PDFs are now controlling 15% of the country's area. Combined with the ethnic resistance forces, our collective resistance forces are controlling close to 50% of the country's area. We are also building more local administration across the country by providing health, education, humanitarian and justice service.
A few days ago, in a very dramatic move, General Min Aung Hlaing, which is the military leader of the junta in Myanmar, proposed some talks with the ethnic guerrillas, the ethnic minority of Myanmar. What is your stance as the NUG acting president on that move from the military government towards the ethnics of the country?
Everyone knows it's a sham peace talk. Almost all major ethnic resistance groups express their concern about Min Aung Hlaing's insincerity and exclusion of major stakeholders, such as PDFs and NUG. If he is sincere about building a genuine peace in Myanmar, he needs to reverse his illegal attempt code. If the military wants to achieve sustainable peace, they need to do three things. First, the military must immediately return back to their barracks and end all attacks on the people. Second, they must accept no political rule for the military in the democratic new Myanmar. Third, they must return to the state institution, to the legitimate representative of the people. We can coordinate for a peaceful and smooth transition if they agree on those 3 points.
Would you have any news from Aung San Suu Kyi, one of the leaders which is in a jail and waiting for long trials, as well as President Win Myint, which you are the acting president for. Are you able to communicate through the channels maybe you have, and do you have any news you could tell us about Aung San Suu Kyi? How is she? Where is she? What is the future for her?
Since the forming of NUG last year, we work consistently with all stakeholders for the inclusive political process. Our Alliance Relation Committee is reaching out to all ethnic organizations for coordinated actions. We are very grateful to the Ethnic Resistance Organization for providing support to our PDFs. The PDFs are aligned with many EAOs to more effectively resist the military, defend the people, and help us achieve our shared goals of gaining the genuine Federal Democratic Union. The NUG also works with the National Unity Consultative Council, the CRPH, and State and Federal Unity Councils, which all have representation from various important members of the resistance. I could say that it is a time we have unprecedented unity among Myanmar people to fight against brutal military dictatorship. At the same time, we are always striving for greater unity, and we recognize that it is center for the success of our cause. Since Aung San Suu Kyi is arbitrarily detained by the criminal military under, no one has direct access to her, except restrict access for our lawyers.
Can we say that we are on in a state of civil war in the country? This is what we can say after 50 months after the coup?
The announcement is to signal to the people that we had changed our strategy for the revolution, and also inform different forces across the country that this is how all the way we are going to protect our people and achieve our aims. Before announcing the defensive war, the BDFs and their allied EAO had already started military operation. However, the fighting intensified only after the announcement, with the military losing approximately 50 to 100 soldiers every day. Before that day, we had no control any territory yet. But now we have control 15% of the country's territory. As I said earlier, combined with the EAO's control areas, we now have control about almost 50% of the country. Secondly, the PDF, most of them came under the command of Ministry of Defense, and their operation became more effectively. Thirdly, as we expand our control areas, we also install the people administration and provide basic services. It has been only 8 months since we announced the defensive war, but we have seen huge progress we make militarily and politically.
Do you think the People Defense Force, the CDM, all your organization can overturn the military, can win the war you launched on September 7th, 2021, sir?
As the people of Myanmar rise against the illegal attempt military coup, may online rob power from the elected civilian government, we are seeing an ongoing mass uprising. This continues to involve multiple strategies: non-violent resistance, such as the civil disobedient movement and continuing protests, and the armed resistance. The people completely reject the military. They want freedom, democracy, equality, and peace. We try to continue communicate directly to the people through all forms of media. The internet has been an important tool for communications.
Let's talk about the diplomacy, sir, as the acting president of the National Unity Government. What about the role and the support and the backing of the military junta by China or militarily by Russia? What information do you have, and what is your comment on that support?
Yes, the NUG continues Myanmar neutral foreign policy, friendly with all nations, especially with our neighboring countries. However, Russia supplies military hardware such as Su-30 and MiG-29 fighter jets and Mi-35 helicopters. And Myanmar military has been using these weapons to murder the civilians and destroy their villages, sending almost 1 million of men, women, and children fleeing for their lives. Recently, Western sanctioned Russian truck giant Kamaz is in talks with the terrorist Myanmar military Honda to produce military trucks in Myanmar. We always support the interests of the people of Myanmar, so we must oppose the selling and use of this weapon against our people. We also have stood for international law against violation of international treaties and conventions, as any responsible government must. We would expect all our neighbors, including China, to recognize that the military alone is responsible for the honors and humanitarian crisis in Myanmar and for the instability in our region. We also demand that other states not contribute to cause and atrocity crimes in our country and region.
So thank you very much, Duwa Lashila, acting president of the National Unity Government of Myanmar. Thank you very much for having been with us from this secret location in northern Myanmar. Do stay safe. This is the end of the France 24 interview. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.